Too many people are waiting for everything to line up before they take a step. But let me tell you today, God never asked you to bring everything. He only asked you to bring what you have. Too many people wake up each morning feeling defeated before the day even begins because they keep thinking about what they don't have. They say, I don't have the degree. I don't have the money. I don't have the support. I don't have the connection. But let me tell you something that will change your life forever. God never starts with what you lack. He starts with what you have. Look around you. Look at your hands right now. Everything you need to start the journey to your next level is already in your possession. The problem is not that you don't have. The problem is that you keep despising what you have. You look at it and think, this is too small. This will never be enough. But the truth is, that small thing you're ignoring could be the key to unlocking every door you're crying about. Think about a young boy with just 5 loaves and 2 fish. He could have hidden it and said, this is just for me. What is this among so many people? But when he brought it forward, when he used what he had, it fed thousands. What does that tell you about life? It tells you that your responsibility is to offer up what you have, and it's God's responsibility to multiply it XX. Some of you are waiting for big investors before you start your business idea. You're waiting for the perfect camera before you start your YouTube channel. You're waiting for the perfect quiet house before you start praying daily. You're waiting for someone to come and motivate you before you start writing that book. But let me tell you something deeply. Today, nobody is coming to bring you what you already carry inside you. The world does not give to people who wait. It gives to people who act. It responds to movement. A lot of people bury their gifts because they think their gift is not as polished as someone else's. You look at your singing voice and you say, my voice is not as powerful as hers. You look at your small boutique and say, my shop is not as big as his store. You look at your little apartment and say, how can I host people here? But you're missing the law of growth. Deshi, whatever you use expands, and whatever you ignore shrinks. If you use your small voice every day, it becomes stronger. If you run your little boutique with excellence and care, customers multiply. If you host people with love and dignity in your small apartment, your influence grows beyond your walls. Let me give you a practical example. There's a woman I know who had no job, no savings, and was living in a small single room with her 3 children. Every day she would complain to God saying, why is there no breakthrough in my life? One day she listened to a teaching about using what you have. She sat down and asked herself, what do I have? She realized she could cook very well. So the next morning, with the little flour and oil she had left, she made 20 meat pies and sold them to her neighbors. With that money, she bought double the ingredients the next day and made 40. Within 6 months, she had expanded to supplying meat pies to shops across the area, employed 2 women to assist her, and moved her children out of that small room. She didn't wait for a loan. She didn't wait for a big kitchen. She didn't wait for perfect conditions. She used what she had, and God did the rest. You may have a phone in your hand right now, scrolling endlessly, wasting hours on meaningless posts, when that same phone can be used to build your brand, record your teachings, learn a new skill, or connect with mentors and clients. You say you don't have a degree, but you have discipline. You say you don't have capital, but you have an idea. You say you don't have a helper, but you have health in your 2 hands. Your problem is not the absence of resources. Your problem is the absence of vision to see the resources you already have. I want you to understand something today. The world celebrates results, not excuses. If you keep saying, if only I had this, if only I was born in that country, if only my parents were rich, if only someone would discover me, you will keep sitting in the same spot for the next 10 years, complaining to people who can't help you. The truth is harsh but powerful. Nobody is responsible for using your gift but you. Nobody can see your full potential except you. And nobody will celebrate your excuses. Imagine if a farmer looked at his handful of seeds and said, this is too small to plant. I'll wait until I have a whole barn of seeds. He will wait forever and die poor. But when he plants what he has, the land multiplies it back to him. The same principle works in your life. Your seed will never look like your harvest. Your voice today may not sound like stadiums chanting your name. Your writing today may not read like best-selling authors. Your small services may not look like international companies. But if you keep hiding your seed because it's small, it will remain small forever. Your greatness is hidden inside the obedience to start with what you have. Sometimes the reason you feel stuck is because you're trying to do God's job. You're trying to figure out the whole plan before you take a step. But life doesn't work like that. Light does not appear for the whole road. Light comes as you keep moving. When you use what you have, when you take that first shaky step, the next step becomes clearer, and the next, until one day you look back and realize how far you've come. Nothing multiplies in God's system until it is first released. This is a principle that governs everything in life. Look at nature itself. A seed in your hand will remain a seed forever until you release it into the soil. You can hold it, admire it, pray over it, prophecy over it, speak affirmations over it, but as long as it remains in your hand, it will never grow roots. It will never become a tree. It will never bear fruits, and it will never feed nations. The seed's multiplication is locked inside its release. Many people spend their lives holding onto their gifts, ideas, and resources out of fear. Fear that it's too small. Fear that it will fail. Fear that it's not good enough. Fear of people's opinions. But let me tell you the truth. Your gift will never become what it is designed to be until you release it. A gift is not a gift if it is hidden. It is only a gift when it is given. Imagine a young woman with a powerful voice. She sings beautifully in her room every morning, but never allows anyone to hear her. She is waiting for a perfect day, a perfect stage, a perfect platform. She keeps saying, when I get the right opportunity, I will sing. What she doesn't realize is that opportunities don't come to the hidden. Opportunities come to those who are visible. Her voice will never multiply its impact until she releases it into the world. She could start singing at small gatherings, family events, prayer meetings, uploading short covers online. Each release builds courage, attracts listeners, and expands her reach. But as long as she sings only to herself, her voice will never go beyond her room. Think of a man with a brilliant business idea. He sits with the plan in his notebook, refining it for years, writing mission statements, rewriting vision statements, changing colors on the logo, editing the tagline repeatedly, yet he has not launched anything. He says, it must be perfect before I release it. What he doesn't know is that multiplication is not in perfection. It is in release. Even if he starts small, the mistakes he makes will teach him what books cannot teach him. Customers will refine his product through feedback. Market trends will reshape his brand identity. But none of that can happen while the idea remains locked up in his notebook. The market does not pay you for ideas. It pays you for execution. This is why many people remain stagnant year after year. They keep saying, when I get more money, then I will give. When I get more knowledge, then I will teach. When I become perfect, then I will act. But life does not work like that. God's system operates on the law of release before multiplication. And the widow who fed the prophet did not wait for her flour jar to be filled before she gave. She released what she had, and multiplication came. If she had said, let me wait until I have extra before I give, she would have eaten her last meal and died in starvation. Her release activated her miracle. There is a law in life that what you fear to release controls you. If you fear to release your gift, fear controls your destiny. If you fear to release your money to invest or to give, money controls your destiny. If you fear to release your time to serve and build, time controls you. But when you release, you break the bondage of fear and unlock the gates of growth. Release is proof of trust. Think about a farmer again. Imagine him crying every day over his empty field, praying passionately, fasting, and anointing the soil with oil. But he refuses to plant his seeds because he fears he will lose them to the ground. Everyone passing by will think he is wise because he is saving his seeds for the right season. But in reality, he is dying poor with a full barn. You see, having seeds does not make you rich. Planting seeds does. Release turns potential into production. Some of you have words that can heal the broken, but you are silent. Some of you have creativity that can transform industries, but you keep waiting for someone to discover you instead of releasing your work consistently. Some of you have wisdom that can guide others away from pain, but you keep saying, who will listen to me? Release it. That wisdom you think is normal is the answer to someone's confusion. That skill you think is basic is someone else's miracle. That business idea you think is common is what heaven has assigned to prosper your generation. But as is until you release it, it cannot multiply. Assist. You will never know how far your impact can go until you release what is in your heart. You will never know how powerful your words are until you speak them. You will never know how many lives your talent can touch until you use it beyond your comfort. You will never know how strong you are until you step out with what you have. S, release is the catalyst for increase. See, even money obeys this law. Money kept stagnant loses value over time. But money released into investment, giving, building, and service multiplies in purpose and impact. Some of you are praying for financial breakthrough while hoarding your last penny. Yes, wisdom is necessary, but understand this principle is there. What you release in faith multiplies beyond what you can keep by fear. Every single day you wake up with something to release. An encouraging word, a creative idea, an act of kindness, a disciplined routine, an investment, a seed. Don't underestimate small releases. Streams become rivers through consistent small releases. Small daily actions create unstoppable momentum. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is an illusion that keeps more people in bondage than failure ever will. You sit there thinking, I'll start when the children are grown. I'll launch when I have enough money saved. I'll speak when I feel fully confident. I'll write the book when I'm less busy. I'll propose my idea when the economy is better. I'll pursue my calling when I feel ready. But let me tell you the truth about life. Powers, there is no perfect time. There's only now. The world is filled with graves containing dreams that were waiting for the perfect time. Books never written, songs never sung, businesses never launched, movements never started, families never built. People waited and waited until life ran out of them. The perfect time is a deception because every stage of life will come with its own challenges. When you are young, you will say, I don't have experience yet. When you gain experience, you will say, I'm too busy with work and building my family. When the children grow up, you will say, I'm too old for this now. You see, excuses evolve with your seasons, but purpose remains the same. Think of a woman who wants to start a small catering business from her kitchen, but she says, the house is too small. I don't have an industrial oven. My pots are too few. The market is too competitive. I'll wait until I can open a restaurant. So she waits. Years pass, her children grow, and suddenly health challenges come knocking. Energy reduces, capital is consumed by medical bills. Now she looks back with tears in her eyes saying, I wish I started when I could. That is the pain of wasted seasons. Life does not give back the time you waste waiting for perfection. Look at a young man with a vision to teach others leadership, but he keeps saying, who will listen to me at this age? Let me wait until I am in my 40s with gray hair and big titles. But what he does not know is that there are millions of young people who would listen to him today because he is living in their current season. They can relate to him now, not later. Later, they will have moved on searching for someone else who understands their phase. You are most effective in the season you are in right now. There is a powerful saying, X, start where you are with what you have from who you are now. The first time you act will never be your best, but it will always be better than the time you wasted doing nothing. Your first speech might be nervous. Your first writing might be messy. Your first business might make mistakes. Your first counseling session might be rough. But what you build through experience is what perfects you. Excellence is not a prerequisite for starting. It is a reward for consistency. Think about driving at night. When you put on your headlights, you don't see the entire journey ahead. You only see a few meters. But as you keep moving, the road unfolds. Life works the same way. Clarity comes with motion. You will never know all the answers before you start, but you will learn them as you go. Fear of the unknown keeps people paralyzed, but faith in small steps brings unstoppable progress. Imagine if a farmer said, I won't plant this season because the weather forecast is not perfect. Maybe next season will be better. Next season he says, the rains came too early this year, I'll wait for another season. Then pest came, then floods came, then drought came, and he keeps postponing. In the end, he will die in hunger while his seeds rot in the barn. The farmer who reaps is not the one who waits for perfect weather. It is the one who plants in faith despite the forecast. Now, says faith is acting in the midst of uncertainty. There is a woman I know who wanted to start a hair business, but kept delaying because she wanted a big salon with mirrors, chairs, dryers, and staff. She kept waiting for a bank loan. But the day she heard a teaching on starting with what you have, she changed her mindset. She took her small comb, a brush, a blow dryer, and started braiding from her house corridor. Her first clients were neighbors. They told friends. Those friends told their friends. Within a year, she rented a small shop. In 3 years, she opened 2 branches. Now she trains others across the city. If she waited for the perfect salon to start, she would still be sitting with her dreams locked up in her mind. The perfect time is not a date on the calendar. The perfect time is the moment you decide to act. It is the moment you silence fear and excuses and say, I will do it afraid. I will do it imperfectly. I will do it shaking, but I will do it anyway. Life respects action. Even if you fail, you will fail forward. You will learn something that no motivational quote can teach you. You will grow courage that no prayer meeting can impart. You will develop resilience that no conference can give you. The people you admire today are not those who waited for perfect timing. They are those who started before they felt ready. So excellence is birthed in the womb of consistency, not in the womb of perfection. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence fuels excellence. Excellence attracts influence. Influence creates impact. But all these begin with one thing, starting now, not later. Every time you delay your purpose, someone delays their destiny because your obedience is connected to someone else's breakthrough. There is someone waiting for your book to find their healing. There is someone waiting for your music to find their hope. There is someone waiting for your business to find their provision. There is someone waiting for your leadership to find their direction. You will never see the fullness of your potential if you keep despising your seed. This is one of the most silent killers of dreams, the inability to see value in what you already have. People look at their skills, their resources, their appearance, their background, and they say, this is nothing. What can this do for me? Who will listen to me with this small gift? Who will buy from me with this little capital? Who will respect me with my low education? They spend their lives despising their seed, and in despising it, they bury it. Imagine a farmer looking at a handful of maize seeds and saying, this is too small to feed my family. So he throws them away and never plants them. But what he forgets is that in that tiny handful lies a potential harvest that can feed villages, pay school fees, and build houses. The seed is not the harvest, but it carries the harvest within it. You must honor your seed because it is the only bridge to your harvest. Gaxa, think about David. He was a shepherd boy with just a sling and 5 stones. If he despised his sling, he would have died unknown in the wilderness, tending sheep forever. He could have said, this is just a toy for shepherds, it's nothing great. I need a sword like the trained soldiers. But no, he honored his sling. He used it with precision, with dedication, with courage. And that simple sling made him a national hero. Your sling will take you to your throne if you stop despising it. Essen, look at your own life. Some of you can cook so well that people lick their plates clean when you feed them. But you keep saying, it's just cooking. Everyone cooks, it's nothing special. Do you realize that multi-million-dollar brands like KFC, McDonald's, and Domino's are built on the simple act of cooking food people love? The problem is not that your skill is small. The problem is you despise it. So you never nurture it, refine it, or release it. There are people who would pay to learn how you make that stew. There are people who would pay to eat your jollof rice every weekend. But as long as you keep saying, it's nothing, it remains nothing to you. There are some of you who have an eye for beauty and style. You can match colors effortlessly, decorate rooms with leftover items, dress people up to look 10 times their worth, but you keep saying, it's just something I do for fun. Meanwhile, there are people out there making millions as interior decorators, personal stylists, and brand image consultants using the same skill you despise. The difference is not in their seed, it is in their perspective. They honored their seed while you despise yours. Imagine a young man who knows how to fix gadgets. Since childhood, he dismantles toys, fans, blenders, and assembles them back. But he keeps saying, I'm not educated enough. I don't have a degree in engineering, so I can't do anything with this. Yet there are countless people in his community with spoiled gadgets waiting for someone to fix them. If he stopped despising his seed, printed a small paper with, I fix gadgets, affordable rates, and distributed it to neighbors, schools, offices, his story would change in months. That income could fund his education if he desires it. That skill could grow into an electronics repair shop. But as long as he keeps despising his seed, he stays broke, hungry, and hopeless, not because God didn't give him anything, but because he didn't value what God gave him. There was a woman who made beads as a hobby. Her table was full of beautiful necklaces and bracelets, but she never sold them because she said, people will not pay for this. It's too simple, too cheap. One day a visitor came to her house and saw the beads and asked to buy some as souvenirs for an upcoming wedding. That woman sold the first set and made enough money to buy better bead materials. Today she trains hundreds of women in her bead academy and exports bead jewelry internationally. Nothing changed except her mindset. When you despise your seed, you block your own harvest. Many people say, when I become successful, then I will value my talent. No, it works the other way around. When you value your talent, then success will locate you. People respect you based on how you present yourself. If you treat your skill as worthless, people will treat it the same way. If you treat your work as significant, people will pay to access it. You teach the world how to treat your gift. Don't despise your small ideas. That little business thought that keeps popping up in your mind may look like nothing now, but if you write it down, research it, pray over it, and start with what you have, it can grow into a brand that employs hundreds. Don't despise your small capital. That 5,000 nairas, that 100 seaters you keep calling small change, is enough to buy something, sell it, and repeat the process. Every big empire you see today started with a small seed multiplied over time. The smallness of your beginning does not define the greatness of your ending. There is a dangerous arrogance in despising your seed. You are telling the Creator that He made a mistake giving you what you have. But the truth is, God does not give harvest, He gives seeds. The harvest is hidden inside the seed, and only those who value their seed will see their harvest. You keep waiting for God to rain down millions, but He is waiting for you to use your little skill to generate your first income. Then He multiplies it. You keep waiting for God to announce you to nations, but He is waiting for you to post your small content consistently until your voice is heard beyond borders. Life honors those who honor their gifts. Heaven invests in those who invest in their potential. You cannot pray for multiplication while despising your seed. You cannot desire global impact while neglecting local relevance. You cannot reap what you refuse to plant. The secret is simple. F says and value what you have. Use it well, nurture it daily. Release it consistently and watch it multiply beyond your imagination. Yet most people sit down and wait for life to happen to them. They pray, they fast, they weep, they cry out for miracles, but they never take initiative. They never make the first move. They think God is moved by tears alone, but God is moved by faith, and faith is action. God respects initiative. Initiative is proof that you trust what He has put inside you. Initiative is saying, I believe you have already equipped me for what I am about to attempt. Without initiative, life will keep you stagnant, praying circles around mountains you were created to climb. Think about it. If a child sits in class, never raises their hand, never attempts an answer, never asks a question, that child remains unnoticed, unseen, and untested. But the child who lifts their hand, who says, let me try, even if they get it wrong, the teacher notices them, mentors them, and prepares them for greater. Initiative attracts guidance, favor, and open doors. Of life responds to those who move. There is a man who always wanted to start a barber shop. Every day he passed the street corner and imagined his name on the shop sign. He prayed for years, but he never saved money for it. He never asked shop owners about rent. He never watched YouTube tutorials to improve his skills. He just kept praying. Another man in the same neighborhood had a small old clipper. He started cutting people's hair under a tree. Rain or sun, he was there with a mirror nailed to the tree. People laughed at him, saying, who will cut hair under the tree? But he kept showing up. One day a businessman passed by, needed an urgent cut, and this man did it excellently. That businessman paid for a shop for him. I say initiative opened the door that prayer alone could not open. As many people are waiting to feel 100% ready before they start. Let me tell you this truth, you will never feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. Even the greatest entrepreneurs, speakers, pastors, and leaders started while feeling nervous, inadequate, and unqualified. What made them great was not confidence, but initiative. Confidence grows as you keep showing up, keep failing forward, keep refining your craft, keep learning, and keep delivering. There is a woman who baked cakes so beautifully, but she never sold any. She kept waiting to have the perfect logo, the perfect packaging, the perfect social media page. One day her friend said, just bake and sell to neighbors first, then improve as you go. She hesitated, but she finally baked a few cakes and carried them around the compound, telling neighbors, I bake fresh cakes, please try them. They bought. They tasted, they ordered more for the next weekend. Today her cake business supplies major hotels. The packaging is now perfect. The logo is now world class. But what started it all was not branding, it was initiative. You don't build excellence before starting. You build excellence by starting. F's. If you read the biographies of billionaires, you will see a pattern: initiative. Elon Musk started coding games at 12. Oprah Winfrey started reading news at a local station at 17. Strive Masiyiwa started his telecom company in a small office with borrowed money. Dangote started buying and selling rice and sugar with small funds from his uncle. None of them waited for a national platform to take their first step. Initiative is what attracts divine partnership, human favor, and opportunities you cannot manufacture yourself. Life is like a river. You don't see the entire path from the starting point, but when you step in, the next bend reveals itself. Many are standing at the shore, praying for the whole path to become clear. That is not how God works. God respects initiative because it shows trust. It shows that you are willing to obey with the little sight you have, knowing that as you move, more will be revealed. Initiative is faith in motion. Look around you, your job, your business, your studies, your relationships. Where have you been waiting instead of initiating? Are you waiting for your boss to notice your potential before you suggest new solutions? Are you waiting for your church to announce leadership vacancies before you start serving with diligence? Are you waiting for investors to beg you to present your idea before you draft that proposal? Initiative is powerful because it places you ahead of the crowd. While others are analyzing, you are acting. While others are doubting, you are daring. Imagine a young man who desires to be a motivational speaker. He listens to speeches day and night. He dreams of speaking before thousands, but he never records even a 1-minute video. He never organizes a 5-person seminar in his community center. He never posts a single motivational line online. He is waiting for an invitation to the international stage. But the man who takes initiative will gather 3 friends, teach them for free, record it on his phone, post it online, and keep improving. That man will soon be speaking to thousands because initiative creates platforms that preparation alone cannot create. Initiative is so powerful because it is a seed of leadership. The world is looking for leaders, not followers. Leaders are simply those who move first. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for unanimous approval. They don't wait for all funds to arrive. They don't wait for the weather to be clear. They take initiative, and in doing so, they inspire others to follow, to believe, and to support. The same people who doubted you will soon start saying, "I knew you would make it," simply because you dared to take initiative. Problems are not your enemies. They are opportunities for your gifts to shine. But many people wake up every day angry at their problems, bitter at their struggles, cursing the very situation that was designed to reveal their greatness. Think about it. If there were no problems in the world, your gift would be useless. If everyone was healthy, doctors would not be needed. If everyone's hair grew perfectly, barbers would close shop. If everyone had the same knowledge, teachers would be irrelevant. If there were no legal challenges, lawyers would have no work. The reason your gift has value is because there is a problem it is meant to solve. Imagine a man who has a brilliant mind for business strategies. If there were no struggling businesses, his knowledge would have no market. Imagine a woman who is anointed to counsel the brokenhearted. If there were no people going through heartbreak, her words would remain locked up inside her. Problems are the announcement that your gift has an assignment. Every problem in your life and around you is an invitation to rise. But what do most people do? They run. They hide. They complain. They say, "Why me?" instead of asking, what in me is being called forth by this problem? There was a young man in a village where people struggled to get clean water. Every year, they waited for government tankers to come and fill their pots. They complained endlessly about politicians. But this young man sat down and asked himself, what if I build a borehole here? He didn't even know where to start, but he research partnered with a small NGO and dug the first community borehole. Today, the entire region drinks clean water, and he runs a successful borehole drilling company employing dozens of youth. That problem was not his enemy. It was his platform. People keep praying, "God bless me, God bless me, God raise me." But when problems come, they run. Don't they know that God answers prayers for greatness by exposing you to problems your gift is meant to solve? The key is your perspective. Some people see darkness and curse it. Others see darkness and realize it is time to turn on their light. Some people see a dirty street and complain. Others see the same street and start a cleaning business. Some people see broken marriages and gossip. Others see the same and start a counseling initiative. Your perspective determines whether the problem destroys you or promotes you. There is a woman who bakes cakes in a small town. One day a big bakery opened beside her shop. She cried the entire week, thinking she would lose all her customers. But then she said to herself, what is it that they cannot do that I can do? She realized that the big bakery did not take custom cake orders quickly. They had a long wait time. She started promoting her shop with the promise, custom cakes ready within 24 hours. Orders flooded in because people wanted urgency and quality. The problem of competition forced her gift of speed, creativity, and excellence to shine brighter. If you walk into a gym, you will see people lifting weights. The heavier the weight, the stronger the muscle becomes. The problem is the weight, the growth is the muscle. But what if you walk into the gym and see people running away from the weights, saying, I don't want these heavy things in my life? You will laugh because you know that without the weight, there is no growth. As life is the same. Every problem is a weight that strengthens a dormant muscle in you. Every betrayal builds your discernment. Every financial struggle grows your creativity. Every heartbreak sharpens your emotional intelligence. Every sickness teaches you compassion for others' pain. Think about technology companies. The greatest innovations were born from problems. Uber was born because people struggled to get taxis reliably. Airbnb was born because people needed affordable short-term accommodation. Zoom was born because people needed to communicate globally in real time. Problems are billion-dollar opportunities in disguise. But the average person only complains about problems, while the exceptional person asks, how can I solve this? The one who solves it becomes a leader in that sphere. And I once heard of a man who was fired from his job as a chef in a 5-star hotel. He was devastated. For weeks he sat at home crying, thinking his life was over. Then one day, while watching TV, he saw a program about street food vendors. Something clicked in him. He took his little savings, bought basic ingredients, and started cooking gourmet meals by the roadside with a unique flavor twist. People who could never afford hotel meals started buying from him. Today, he owns a chain of street gourmet food trucks. If he had never lost his job, he would still be an underpaid chef, working under someone else's vision. As the problem of job loss unlocked his gift of business creativity. What is that problem that keeps you awake at night? What is that issue you keep complaining about? What if that is the very thing announcing that your gift is overdue for manifestation? What if your promotion is hidden in that frustration? Problems are not your enemies, they are destiny keys wrapped in discomfort. When you start seeing problems as platforms, you will stop complaining and start creating solutions. When you see yourself as an answer, you stop feeling like a victim. When you understand that problems are the currency of purpose, you will run towards them, not away from them, because your gift was created to solve them. Many people spend their entire lives waiting to be ready before they step out. They keep saying, when I finish this course, I will start. Or when I have enough money, I will launch. Or when I have everything perfectly aligned, then I will move. But they don't realize that life does not reward those who are perfectly prepared. It rewards those who move with what they have. You don't need to be fully ready to start. You need to start to become ready. Readiness is built in the journey, not before it. Imagine a young man who dreams of starting a cleaning business. He keeps telling himself, I need industrial machines, a branded van, an office, a full team before I launch. So he waits for years, working at a job he hates, saving bit by bit. Yet life keeps draining those savings with emergencies. Meanwhile, another man with the same dream picks up his old mop, buys cheap detergent, and starts offering home cleaning services in his neighborhood. He carries his tools on a bicycle. His work is so excellent that his name spreads. Within a year, he has bought his first industrial vacuum. Within 2 years, he has a small branded van. By the 3rd year, he employs 5 people. He didn't wait to be fully ready. He started, and readiness met him on the journey. A sick look at a baby learning to walk. Have you ever seen a baby stand up one morning and say, today I am ready to walk? No, they stand, wobble, fall, cry, stand again, stumble, hold the table, take a step, fall, cry, stand again. And with each tiny action, their legs grow strong. Readiness comes from action, not from sitting still. Many people sit still their entire lives, reading, researching, planning, dreaming, but never doing. They keep gathering knowledge they never use. They keep watching YouTube tutorials they never apply. They keep attending motivational seminars, but remain unmotivated to act. Because it is not the knowing that changes your life, it is the doing. There was a woman who wanted to start a tailoring business. She kept waiting to buy a new industrial sewing machine. For 3 years she saved, but family problems kept draining her savings. Then one day she said, I will use what I have. She brought out her old manual sewing machine, dusted it, and started sewing clothes for neighbors. The designs were simple, but her finishing was neat. More orders came in. She added embroidery by hand. More customers came. Within a year, she had saved enough to buy a brand new electric sewing machine. Russ, if she had waited to be ready, she would still be waiting today. Many of you keep saying, I want to start teaching online, but I don't have a camera. Use your phone. I want to record motivational videos, but I don't have a ring light. Stand near the window at noon. I want to write a book, but I don't have a laptop. Use your phone notes or borrow a friend's device. Greatness is never about perfect conditions. It is about perfect commitment. The moment you commit fully, life begins to respond to your courage. Resources start to align when you take action. Doors begin to open as your feet start moving. Imagine if the farmer kept saying, I will only plant when I have all the best fertilizers, irrigation systems, machinery, and workers. The land would remain empty for decades. But the wise farmer plants with the seed he has, weeds with his bare hands if necessary, waters with buckets if needed, and each harvest funds the next expansion. Growth is progressive, not instantaneous. Think about the greatest global brands today. Many started in garages, small rooms, under trees, with no fancy offices or global teams. They started with courage, not with capacity. They started with faith, not with finance. They started with vision, not with validation. They started with passion, not with perfection. Because life respects those who dare to start even when they feel unqualified. There was a man who dreamed of becoming a public speaker. He kept saying, I need to learn how to speak perfectly before I begin. So he watched speeches for years. He read books on oratory, but he never spoke. Meanwhile, another man with a slight stutter started speaking at small gatherings. He would tremble, his words would shake, but his message was strong. People kept inviting him. With every speech, his confidence grew. Eventually, his stutter faded because he practiced through his fear. Today, he is an internationally sought-after speaker. He didn't wait to be ready. He became ready by doing it afraid. I want you to look at your dreams today and ask yourself, what am I waiting for that is actually an excuse? Because the truth is, waiting to be ready is often a mask for fear of failure. You say you are not ready because deep down, you fear rejection, embarrassment, or making mistakes. But remember this, the mistakes you fear are the lessons that will build your mastery. The rejection you dread is the test that will build your resilience. The embarrassment you avoid is the humility that will keep you grounded when success comes. There is a mechanic who had no shop but was excellent at repairs. He carried his toolbox and moved from house to house fixing cars on site. Today, he owns one of the biggest auto garages in his state. There is a woman who started selling food from her kitchen window with just 2 dishes daily. Today, she owns a franchise of restaurants. There is a young man who started teaching maths under a mango tree with a small whiteboard. Today, he owns a private academy with hundreds of students. They did not wait to be ready. They started, and readiness became their servant on the journey bus. What are you holding back from starting today because you think you are not ready? Who told you readiness is a destination? Readiness is built with every step you take, every mistake you make, every small win you celebrate, every door you knock, every rejection you survive, every early morning and late night you invest in your vision. You have listened today to the truth that echoes through the lives of every great man and woman who has ever walked this earth. The truth is simple. You don't need everything to start. You just need to start with what you have. You don't need the perfect conditions, the perfect resources, the perfect team, the perfect knowledge, or the perfect timing. You only need the perfect courage to take the first step. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than fear. It is the decision that your vision is too powerful to remain imprisoned in your mind. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a perfect place. There will never be a perfect season. The only perfection life offers you is the perfection of none OWs. If you keep waiting for everything to align before you act, you will die waiting. Opportunities never announce themselves dressed in gold and diamonds. They come disguised as problems, empty bank accounts, late nights, early mornings, setbacks, and failures. The people you admire today are not people who had perfect beginnings. They are people who chose to begin in imperfection with unstoppable determination. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Remember, if you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Remember, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Remember, your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. There is no greatness without humble beginnings. There is no impact without hidden sacrifices. There is no glory without silent nights of tears and prayers. You are looking at yourself today and thinking you are too small to make a difference. You are thinking your account balance is too low, your education is too little, your exposure is too narrow, your accent is too local, your connections are too few. But let me remind you, it is not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you think you need that you don't really need. You already have something in your hands that the world is waiting for. You already have a gift that can create doors where there were only walls. You already carry the seed of your tomorrow within you. The question is, will you plant it or will you keep holding it in fear? Many die with their seeds unplanted. Many die with their songs unsung. Many die with their books unwritten. Many die with their visions unbuilt. Many die with their greatness still trapped inside their excuses. Don't let that be your story. If you can't build the whole house, lay one brick today. If you can't write the whole book, write one paragraph today. If you can't start the entire business, sell one product today. If you can't record the entire album, write one verse today. If you can't reach the entire world, reach one person today. Life does not honor what you think. Life honors what you do. Dreams remain dreams until you wake up and work. Visions remain visions until you build them brick by brick. Prayers remain words until you align them with action. Faith without works is dead. You say you believe in your future. Show it in your daily actions. Show it in your daily decisions. Show it in your daily discipline. Don't wait for the approval of the world to start. The world does not approve starters. It celebrates finishers. But there can never be a finisher without a starter. So become that starter today. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to become great. Don't die with your greatness buried in your comfort. Don't die with your potential trapped in your laziness. Don't die with your purpose imprisoned by fear. The world is not waiting for another copy. It is waiting for your authenticity. Start with what you have. Do what you can, where you are, and trust that God will do the rest. Esther, one day you will stand on stages you never imagined. You will enter rooms you once thought were too high for you. You will shake hands with people you once only watched on TV. You will travel to nations that never knew your name. And they will ask you, how did you get here? You will smile and say, I simply started with what I had and God did the rest.